I've gone ahead and reorganized a few things. We had like a bit of a mess of machines just kind of clustered together over here previously. I've tried to organize them a little bit into a nice line over here. It's still not perfect, mostly due to the fact that over here, we still have to have like this little bit sticking out with and all of our power right now for all of this setup is still coming from the coal generator, which means whenever I log onto the server like this after being away for a little while, I do have to go and grab some coal or some wood or some kind of fuel that I can put into that coal generator so that I can access the rest of my AE2 system. Not the best system in the world, and hopefully maybe in today's stream we'll get some more reliable power hooked up to our AE2 system, maybe even just hook it up to the solar panels that we made in the last stream, which are now powering all of our igneous extruders and whatnot on the lower level. Other than this like reorganization that we've done here, I also did a little bit of base expansion down here. Not a whole lot, just kind of an extra bit of space here next to our ore processing, because one of the big things that I want to get done in today's stream is I would like to finally get to the point where we're automatically processing all of our sifting drops into ingots, into gems, into whatever form they finally take, so we can actually use them instead of having to come down here, grab the ore pieces, smelt them up manually, and then use them that way, right? But before we get into that, the very first thing that I would like to work on in today's stream is something that I've been putting off for way too long now, and that is this quest here, the Simply Tinker's quest line, which wants us to set up a basic porcelain smeltery. And the reason why we need that essentially is just to kind of act as a stepping stone on the way to the actual Tinker's Construct Smeltery. And the reason why I want this is, one, it's useful and it makes our lives a lot easier when it comes to making better Tinker's tools and also getting better tool upgrades in the future. But one of the main and more imminent reasons that I want that is because in order to upgrade all of our igneous extruders down here to a higher tier, we need signalum, and if we want to go all the way, we need enderium. And there are a few ways you can make signalum and enderium. One of the ways is that you can make them in an alloy smelter. The alloy smelter, as I've pointed out before, in newer versions of Ender.io is a bit of a pain in the backside to make. You know, you need this industrial dye blend, you need organic green dye and lapis and black dye and nether quartz dust and like a simple machine chassis which requires grains of infinity. It's a whole shebang. I think our best bet is going to be with the smeltery. It means that we can just put in the required ingredients and pull them out in ingot form. It is significantly easier than having to go through and trying out all the stuff for the alloy smelter, at least right now. The first thing we need to do if we're going to set up our porcelain smeltery is we need to get some more of the, I think it's just porcelain clay that we need. Let me check real quick here. It is indeed, the recipes are mostly just porcelain brick, which is made by smelting porcelain clay, and then some other form of ingredient as well, you know, a furnace, some glass, all fairly simple stuff. And so getting this really shouldn't be too difficult. I did go ahead and get a bunch of clay between streams, so we now got 40. It's pretty easy stuff, it's just a little bit grindy, so I thought I'd do that before the stream started. And then of course bone meal, we should have in abundance by this point, so let's go ahead and grab a bunch of that as well. He says as he has 5 bone meal in his system. Let me go and quickly grab some of this, and also we can check up on our loot bank as well to see if we've got a new nether star. I know as of yesterday we didn't. There's me looking for bone meal when really I should be looking for just regular old bones. And so let us very quickly throw this in here. I was going to say we can do this whilst we wait for our porcelain clay to smelt up, but thinking about it, with our new Zenith Furnace, the porcelain clay here should smelt up almost instantaneously, which is pretty nice. So we'll go back and check on the loot bank in just a second here. And let me check the quest book, because there are certain things we need to hand in to complete the quest to progress on to making the actual smeltery. So we need a melter, we need a tank, we need a faucet, we need a casting basin, and we need a casting table. So the melter is easy enough. It just needs, is that glass or is that a different tank? It needs a different tank. That is fine. It's also easy enough. We can then get a melter. We can also go ahead and get, I don't know if we need a heater, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, the porcelain tank, if you put lava in it, also acts as a heater. And so let's go and grab a porcelain tank. Let's get ourselves a casting table. I don't know why we need both a casting table and a casting basin. I don't think that both are required in order to actually make a smeltery, but that's fine. And then what else do we need? We also need a faucet as well. The mod does also have Porcelain Channels. I've never used these, but I'm going to grab some just because I'm quite interested as to how those work. I assume you can just use them to like channel your liquid further away, right? Like you can pull the liquid out of the smeltery and then send it to a different location if you wanted to do that for some reason. Not really something we're going to be too interested in doing, but we can try it nonetheless. And so now that we have that, let me see about automating this a little bit. So the idea here is that we are looking to make seared bricks, right? Or seared stone. I think we can actually pull it out in seared stone form, but we can also pull it out in seared brick form as well if we wanted to. We are going to need some seared bricks if we want to make like the different parts of the smeltery. They do actually require seared bricks and not just seared stone. So I think we'll start with the seared bricks and see where we can go from there. Now, I am fairly certain that I'm going to need some form of hopper to be able to pull this stuff out. And we could probably do with another hopper actually now that I think about it, because we're going to want to have one hopper that pumps stone into the smeltery and then one that pulls the final product out. And then just to finish off the whole setup, we should probably go with a chest as well. Very temporary setup just until we get ourselves an actual smeltery is probably going to look something like, actually, we probably can't use the smeltery here actually now that I think about it. Not a smeltery, a hopper, because what I am thinking is the way this works, and the more I think about it, the more I think that we should probably do it over by our lava source, because lava is what we're going to use to actually fuel this. And so, again, it's going to look pretty messy, chat, but I'm thinking here that we get a porcelain tank. We throw it right about, for now I'll throw it here, like that. That's going to start to fill up with lava. We then, on top of that, put down our porcelain melter. That's going to receive the fuel from the tank and use that to melt whatever we put in these 3 slots here. Then we want to put down some kind of hopper. For now, right about, I guess here will work just fine. That's going to allow us to pump items into the melter. And then I was going to use another hopper to pull items out, but then I realized that is not going to work at all. Oh no, that might work actually now that I think about it. Hold on. What we need to do, we can throw down this guy right about here. We could use the porcelain faucet to pull whatever we make out of the melter, but I do think that it is going to be significantly faster if we use something like a fluiduct here. And I'm fairly certain that the normal fluiduct would work, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to use one of our 5 hardened fluiducts instead, just in case the normal fluiduct does set on fire and break. Again, I don't think it's going to, but it might. So for the safety aspect, or just to be safe, I guess, we can go ahead and use the hardened fluiduct for now. And so the final step here is to throw down a chest, like so, throw down a hopper, like that, and chat, finally, we should have, I think, what it takes to get ourselves some seared bricks, almost, right? So the next thing we're going to do here is make a ingot cast. To do that, we're going to need either some gold or some aluminium brass. I'm going to go with gold just because we have it and it's a lot quicker. And then we also need some kind of ingot. I'm going to go with iron because we have it in abundance. And then I'm fairly certain, chat, that all we need to do is throw our iron ingot right about here. Hopefully that doesn't get pulled right out. It didn't. Lovely. And then if we put our gold in, it should slowly but surely smelt down into molten gold, get pulled out over the iron ingot, leave us with an ingot cast, at which point we can put other things in here to try and get some seared stone. Whilst we wait for that, let me look at the recipe for seared stone here, because I think it's a little different to what I'm used to, because normally in a regular smeltery, you can put, I believe, both stone and cobblestone into the smeltery to get seared stone back, but in the Tinker's Complement melter, which is what we're using right now, you can't. You can only use seared bricks, seared brick, both of which we don't have because we're trying to make those, grout, or surprisingly compressed cobblestone. Like, you can't use regular cobblestone, but compressed cobblestone works just fine. And so I guess, given that we have an abundance of compressed cobblestone, all we really need to do is throw that in like so. We have our ingot cast now. That's made itself right there. You can see we got it like that. And right now we're smelting down some compressed cobblestone. Each one of these cobblestone pieces will turn into 2 blocks and 1 ingot, or 648 millibuckets. Those 648 millibuckets can then be pulled out into an ingot cast. That's 72 millibuckets. 648 divided by 72 is like 9? I think exactly 9. And so we should get 9 ingots per compressed cobblestone. And so it really shouldn't take too long whatsoever for us to get a large amount of seared brick ingots here. Really, we just have to wait. The longest part is waiting for the melter to actually melt. And so whilst we wait for that to melt, let's go check on our patient loot bag, shall we? Can you make time in a bottle? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Time in a bottle. I think it's from Cyclic, if I'm not mistaken, or Cyclic, however you pronounce that. A mod which I don't think is in the pack. Oh, we've done it, chat. We have got another. We've got 2 nether stars. Oh my goodness. 2 more nether stars. That is actually really nice. Also, let me go and... It makes sense because it's been like a week since we were last on the server here, but let's go ahead and throw in another patient bag here. Or another 2 patient bags, I guess, just so we can keep the system going. But 2 more nether stars. That's actually really useful because it means that potentially in today's stream, what we can do is once we start setting up the automated smelting system to actually start to process all of our ore pieces, we could maybe go ahead and just make more of these Zenith Furnaces to make all of our ore processing just ridiculously fast. Now, I don't think we need to do that just yet because I don't think that the speed at which we are getting resources at the moment is fast enough to warrant one of these Zenith Furnaces, but it might be a good idea just to kind of future-proof in case we do get to a point where we've sped up our igneous extruders and our cobble gravel dust production enough to where it could be useful, maybe. So this is complete. We can go ahead and claim our RAK. Nice. And then the next quest here does want us to make some grout. I actually don't think we're going to need any grout just because of the fact that we're already getting seared bricks from our smeltery here, and we can use those seared bricks to make a fully fledged Tinker's Construct smeltery. But just in the interest of completing this quest, let's go ahead and make some grout like that. That should hopefully trigger the quest. If we... Music? Nice. All right, so that's done. We can go ahead and claim 5 more RAK. I'm actually not quite sure how much RAK we have right now. We've got 221 RAK, and so we are edging ever closer, chat, to being able to get something like the flight totem. It is 768 RAK, but it's, you know, we're like a fifth of the way there, maybe a quarter of the way there, possibly. We're getting, well, more than a quarter of the way there, but you get the idea. We're getting there, slowly but surely. All right, let's clear out our inventory a little bit here. I've got a bunch of trash that I didn't need to be carrying around with me. You may also notice I had some packing tape there. For those who are wondering, packing tape allows you to move storage drawers without losing all of the stuff inside of them, much like in an earlier stream where we used the storage crate moving items. Like you can make an item that allows you to move storage crates without dropping all of the items on the floor. The packing tape does a very similar thing for the storage drawers. If you right click on a storage drawer with the packing tape, I'll show you actually with this one over here. If you right click on the storage drawer with the packing tape and then you go ahead and break it with a hatchet like so, you actually just get the storage drawer with all of the items inside of it still. And so when you put it back down, it's still holding all of its items. Very useful. Definitely something you should be using, especially if, like with our mob spawner over here, you've got drawers that contain potentially thousands of items, because otherwise, if you break them without the packing tape, the items will spew everywhere and cause just an absurd amount of lag. Definitely not something that you want. Oh my goodness, my keyboard, like my mouse froze for a second there and I almost walked off the edge. Not a great way to start the stream, but whilst we wait for all of our seared bricks to be made over here in our porcelain smelter, let's look at automating the setup of smelting our ore pieces. Now, I think the easiest way for us to do this is going to be using storage drawers, at least to compress all the iron ore pieces, because of course the first step that we need to do before we can get to the iron ingots is craft the iron ore pieces into iron ore chunks, right? Like this. Now, there are a few ways we could do this. I think we could use, for example, a crafter, I think from RF Tools would work just fine, but the RF Tools, as people have mentioned in chat there, the mod RF Tools has been gated quite a bit behind some of this landcraft stuff here, and so instead, I think that the easiest way for us to do this is probably going to be with storage drawers. All we really need to do is get a bunch of these compacting drawers, and the compacting drawers should automatically craft the iron ore pieces into iron ore chunks and thus make them available in both forms there. And so, thankfully, I don't think the compacting drawers are too difficult to make. It's mostly just pistons. We did make a few pistons in the last episode, but I don't think 12 is going to cut it because we really need one compacting drawer for every single iron or every single ore piece that we're going to get. Now, I'm not quite sure how many ore pieces there are. There are like 3, 6, 9, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There are 19 here, I think, but I don't think we get all of these from sifting. Like some of them you can see are only obtained through sifting netherrack, and so I think for now I'll start by making like 12 and we can work from there if it's not enough, but I think 12 might be the right answer. Maybe. Let's head on down to the lower level. My plan, really, my base plan at least, is I'm kind of thinking about putting a draw controller maybe just like right here where this torch is, like right about there for now, and then just kind of surrounding this with compacting drawers. Every single one of these compacting drawers, of course, is going to be responsible for one ore piece. We can always go and grab some more pieces to see if we've got enough here in just a second. And let me think how I want this to work. I think we could probably get away for now. We're just doing something like that. So let me do a quick check. Do we have, and also I keep making these gaps in the base because I think they look nice, but I'm definitely going to fall through one of them like any day now. But let's see here. I want to get as many different ore pieces as possible into these compacting drawers. And also, I guess one thing that I do want to have on me is our drawer key, so that once we put a specific ore into a specific compacting drawer, that drawer is locked to that ore piece until, you know, we tell the drawer otherwise. So we should also get our drawer key here just so we can lock the drawer and make sure that the system doesn't get backed up when, you know, other items end up in these drawers here. So we'll lock that up, and then let's see about moving all these over, shall we? All right, I think, chat, that is pretty much everything. Again, we do still have a bunch of ore pieces here that are not being processed. Lead is not one of them. That should go into the drawer. We do have a bunch of stuff here that's not going anywhere just yet. We should probably just put this in our AE2 system. And I guess also we can start to move in these ore chunks as well. They can definitely go into the drawers. Now, ideally, at some point also we are going to have, and I guess hopefully in today's session, we are going to get normal storage drawers for some of these other resources like bone meal, for example, glowstone, all those items. We are going to want to put into their own storage drawers, but they might not necessarily warrant a compacting drawer. There are certain things that could warrant a compacting drawer, for example, diamonds, emeralds, maybe redstone and glowstone potentially, if we want to be able to pull out redstone in block form without having to manually craft it. But that's like kind of a bit of a small concern right now. I'm not really too worried about about having to manually craft redstone blocks, at least not for the near future. So now all of those are locked and all of those are full of each of their respective ore chunks, which is pretty cool. So the next thing we need to do is we need to automatically start moving all of the ore pieces that come into the medium storage crate over to the draw controller. And then furthermore, after that, we need to pull all of the ore pieces out of the draw controller and into a furnace. You know, we could probably use one of the furnaces or maybe even multiple furnaces from the furnace overhaul mod. And there are a lot of different ways that we can transfer items in the pack. We've used quite a few of them already. We've got these item conduits here from Ender.io. We've used transfer nodes and transfer pipe from Extra Utilities too, but I'm thinking of mixing it up a little bit here and going with item ducts specifically. I would like to go with the impulse item ducts from thermal expansion, that being these guys over here. That's a dense item duct. We only need a standard item duct, but these can also transfer items. And the reason why I want to go with these ones in particular is that with these, you can use a retrieval node, which I apparently cannot spell. It's this guy right here. And the retrieval node is pretty cool in that it allows you to whitelist items that you want to be pulled into a certain inventory. So for example, with our draw controller downstairs, we can have a pipe connected to our barrel here, and then a pipe connected to our draw controller with a retrieval node, and that will pull anything it can into the draw controller that's connected to any other pipes. And then further on from that, we can have another pipe, like the same pipe can connect up elsewhere with another retrieval node that's whitelisted for specific ore chunks or for specific ingots or for specific items. That might not make a lot of sense if you haven't seen how these work in the past, but believe me, it'll work quite nicely, hopefully, in a second here. Now, you can do this with normal item ducts. You don't have to go with impulse item ducts, and the impulse item ducts are a little bit trickier to make, but I think it's going to be worth it. They're faster, and in my opinion, they look cooler. You can actually see the items going through the pipes, and so I'm going to try, hopefully, and make some of these. Now, the reason they're a little tricky is that we do need a fluid transposer, as well as some energized glowstone, which you can make in a Magma Crucible. Thankfully, I don't think either of these two machines are too difficult to make. All right, 2 machine frames, like so, a fluid transposer, and I think we've got almost everything it takes to make the Magma Crucible. It does require some hardened glass or some fused quartz. I think we can make that in the induction smelter, right, with just obsidian and pulverized lead, I believe is the way that works. So if we quickly start pulverizing a little bit of lead here, and we throw some of our pre-existing obsidian into our... It might be obsidian dust as well, actually, now that I think about it. I'm not quite sure. Let me try... Yeah, I think you have to pulverize both of these, so I will pulverize the obsidian as well. All right, so I'm fairly certain that it's 4 pulverized obsidian with like 1 pulverized lead should get us 1 hardened glass. We only need the 1 right now to make our Magma Crucible, but we are going to need more hardened glass if we want to make the impulse item ducts, because they are made using normal item ducts, which are made with tin and hardened glass. So really here we should get probably like a full stack of obsidian and just start pulverizing that away in the background so it's ready to go when we want to use it. Although I guess you 4 hardened glass. Okay, that's interesting. I wasn't aware of that. But let's go ahead and make a Magma Crucible, like so. And then I don't know where we're going to put these down just yet, because our line of machines has kind of filled up already, which is not the best. And also, ideally, these 2 machines do want to be next to each other. And so, bear with me, chat. It's going to look bad, but temporarily, which I feel like is the word I say the most in this series, I'm going to put the fluid transposer and the Magma Crucible down right about here. I know it looks bad, but, you know, necessary evil. We need to get it up and running before we can fix it. You know, it's gonna look worse before it looks better. Okay, that's my justification there. So most of our glowstone is still downstairs. That is fine. Let's go ahead and grab like a stack of that and throw it into our into our Magma Crucible. We do need to configure this. We want to make sure the left is an output, and on here we want to make sure the right is an input, like that. So when we throw the glowstone in and it breaks it down into destabilized glowstone, which is not called that, it's called energized glowstone, it actually gets pumped over directly into the fluid transposer. Again, whilst we're waiting for that to do its thing, let's go and grab some of our hardened glass, or let's start making some of our hardened glass. And let me check real quick, because I don't know if you actually have to pulverize the lead. Like, can I just put in normal lead? No, you do also have to pulverize the lead. Okay, so let's pulverize some lead as well. We could probably do with upgrading the speed of our furnace, but our pulverizer even. But again, until we get a better source of power than the coal generator, it's probably not worth it, and we almost certainly wouldn't be able to keep up with it. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and craft up some standard item ducts. Like, so you do make 6 at a time, and so we really don't need that much hardened glass. Like 42 item ducts is actually going to be way more than enough for what we need in today's stream. And essentially all we're going to do is just throw this into here for now and kind of let that slowly but surely make us those impulse item ducts. And ideally when we come back, we'll have 42 impulse item ducts ready to be used. Whilst we wait for those to be ready, let's go ahead and grab some fuel and put it into our coal generator, because it's offline. Like, this is using too much power. Like these guys right here, please come back online. We really need to work on power for our AE system. Like, this should be the last thing that loses power here. Ideally, I think this is not going to come back online until these have filled up with power. So whilst we wait for that to finish, let's go check on the number of seared bricks that we have over here. We've got a lot. We've got a lot of seared bricks there. Very nice indeed. And I guess whilst again we wait for that to come online, we can go back to the old school method of crafting and see if we can't make a couple of these items required for a basic smeltery, which again is a quest and also is going to help us in obtaining some of that signalum going forward here. So let me check the quest book real quick. Which items does it actually want us to create? It would like a tank, a controller, a drain, a faucet, seared brick, a casting table, and a casting basin. So the basin's easy enough. It looks something like that. The drain, I think, is also actually easy enough. I think it's something like that. And then we do need glass if we're going to make the tank, which also should not be too difficult. We've got 390 glass already. Very nice indeed. You can thank the Zenith Furnace for that one. And then what else do we need? We also need the faucet, which we're not going to use, but we are required to make for the quest. And I think we're missing one more thing, which is a block of seared brick. Oh, which is also very easy for us to do. Nice. There we go. Cool. Cool. So now that we have a large amount of seared brick, we can also go ahead and just craft most of this up now into seared brick. We don't have to worry about keeping it in the standard single brick form. And I think 2 stacks should be enough to get a decent sized smeltery going here. But we can now go ahead and take this down. I'm fairly certain this does retain its lava, and so if we wanted to, we could always go and move that back in the future. The ingot cast there is going to prove very useful for us going forward if we want to make those signalum and enderium ingots. And then the hopper, we can go ahead and move. I forgot about all the compressed cobblestone. Thankfully, it shouldn't be too difficult for us to just move all that back into the compacting drawer here, which again, at some point, we should hook up to a system of some kind. I'm also not too bothered if those just despawn, because it looks like we are out of space in our compacting drawer. It's filled up since we took those out and stuff. For now, I'm just going to throw these off the edge. We don't need them. All right, so now, chat, I've got to figure out where in the world I'm going to put this smeltery, because I don't really have a designated place already set up, and I probably will move it at some point in the future, but I'm thinking, for now at least, about putting it like right here. I don't love it, because like I think this bridge here is like an even number one. Maybe not, maybe that's the center. Yeah, okay, I'm going to put it here. Again, I don't love it. No, I don't. I really don't love it. I'm going to move this. Down below is probably a good idea. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I might even have it be like the centerpiece of the lower level, like put it somewhere at the back over here somewhere once we get rid of this and have it like directly underneath our old setup. But again, temporarily, just to get the ball rolling, I'm going to put it like right here. This is not its final resting place by any stretch of the imagination, but just to get it down and make it usable, I'm going to put it here for the time being. And I think we'll go with a standard like 3x3 smeltery. Well, 5x5, 3x3 internally. For now, we could go smaller, but it would take forever. We could go bigger, but we might not have enough bricks. So I think for the moment, this should work just fine. I do want to make sure that we have our drain on the front of the smeltery here. Again, we could put it elsewhere, but I think here works just fine. It also looks pretty cool as well. And we'll put the tank for the lava on the front there as well. For now. Again, our lava production's all the way over there, so it could be a bit of a pain getting it down here, but that is a problem for future Isaac, not a problem for current Isaac. Patient bag-powered nether star generator. Oh man. I mean, we've managed to to get quite a few nether stars out of our patient bags, you know, although I have a sneaking suspicion that we haven't generated enough to fully power a generator, at least not just yet. So this is now online, which is fantastic. Let us go, and I'll make this one taller, just to give us a little bit of wiggle room when it comes to how much stuff we can fit in the smeltery. Like how many... We've already got quite a lot of spaces, actually, and so maybe we don't need 3 here, but just for safety's sake, let's put a few in there. I do also see that there is a creeper hiding out over there with a pig. I don't know what those guys are doing up in that, up under our base there, but I don't like it. Whatever it is they're up to, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. All right, we've got a nice amount of space in our smeltery, which is great. How are our item conduits doing? Fantastic. We've got 42 impulse item ducts. So, once again, we're in a situation where we don't have the ability to go under the platform, which is kind of what I would like to do with some of this piping. And so, until we get like a jetpack, which is on my list of things to do, like imminently. But until we get a jetpack, I think I'm just going to have to do something like this. Again, very temporary, chat. I cannot emphasize enough how temporary a lot of this stuff is, all right? Very extremely temporary. All right, clear out some space, and then let's see if we can make our first reinforced retriever here. We do already have some electrum, which is nice. I think you do have to go through each stage anyway if you want to upgrade. So even if we do want to make signalum or enderium retrievers, we do still need to have the previous tier, nevertheless, to get there. And so all we really need is an Eye of Ender, which of course we can't make because all of our ender pearls are over by our mob farm. Something that I do want to rectify, hopefully, in today's stream. But for the time being, let's just go and grab some standard ender pearls and throw them in the system, get an Eye of Ender, and then craft up at least one Retrieval Node. So, now that we have that, all we need to do is just throw that down on here. We don't have to do any filtering because the compacting drawer here, the controller, can only accept certain items. Like, it can't pull anything that's not an ore chunk in right now or an ore piece in, and so ideally this should work out just fine. So my next stage, the way that we test this, I guess, is by turning on all of the extractions here. If we turn that to always active, is it up here that's off? Oh no, I just turned all the sifts off? I did. So we turn it to always on, and we do the same thing over here. This one might be actually, I have no idea what's stopping this. Oh, it's the, of course, it is the translocator. I completely forgot how I turned these off. I'm fairly certain this one is that translocator that I can't reach. If I can do something like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. The cool thing again about having this oak chest here is that we do have a nice backlog of sand. I kind of wish I'd set up something similar for the other two machines. This wasn't really intentional. It was just kind of a byproduct of what we already had lying around. But I think it would have been nice to have like a nice backlog of sand, gravel, and dust for today's stream here. But let's go ahead and turn this one on as well. And so ideally now, that's going to start to sift stuff. Everything should get sifted. And you can see already that all of the ore pieces, as they come in, are being pulled out along and over to the retrieval node. I believe the speed at which they are pulled is relative to the level of retrieval node that you have. So the higher the tier of retrieval node, the faster the items will move. The basic one here has an extraction rate of 1 second and a max stack size of 32. So it can move up to 32 items at a time, which is pretty cool. And then this one's 0.5, so it can move items twice as fast and also move twice as many items at a time. And then finally this one, I believe just has, oh, you can see at the bottom there, a few lines down, it says speed boost. So this one doesn't have a speed boost. This one increases the speed at which the items move through the pipe to 2x, and then this one over here increases the speed to 3x. So they are quite a bit faster with the resonant retriever there. And so now that we've got this, and you can see these are actually coming in a lot faster than we can pull them out. Like, I forgot just how good our sifting system is. And so to combat that real quick, chat, I'm going to turn these off again, because I think if I don't, we are going to end up with overflowing issues very quickly. And instead, we're going to pivot into trying to upgrade our retrieval node here to be fast enough to kind of pull everything in. So to do that, we need signalum and we need enderium. We'll start with signalum because it's the easier one to make. We can make that in the smeltery by combining redstone, copper, and silver. Thankfully, all of which we have, and I'm fairly certain that we can even just go ahead and just throw in the ore pieces like this, and that should work just fine. Let me see about the ratio here real quick. So it's 250 to 36 to 108. Why are you like this game? Why not just give me the ratio? Why is there like a bizarre, I have to crunch the numbers myself here to try and figure this out. So I think this is like 3. So it's 3 copper to every 1 silver. And then like a bunch of, I don't know, 3, 1, 10, I think. That makes sense, actually. How much redstone could be an issue for us here? How much redstone do you get when you put it in the smeltery? 100 millibuckets. So it's not quite, so it's like 2, we don't actually need that much redstone, thankfully, because we don't have that much redstone. I think it's only like 2.5 pieces of redstone per thing here. Yeah, so 2.5 redstone, and then less than an ingot of both copper and the silver. Okay, but now I'm just going to put in a bunch of redstone, a bunch of copper, and a bunch of silver. And if we make a bunch of signalum, I think that's fine. That one is tin, this one is silver. I'm going to put in more copper than I do silver, I guess. Maybe 3 times as much. So maybe we'll do something like that for now. And just see how much we get. I think that should be more than enough. Let's go grab some lava as well, shall we? How much lava do we have, actually? We've got just over 1 million, almost 1.5 million millibuckets of lava right now, which is very nice indeed. Always happy to see that. You need 30 redstone for what you put in. Oh, 30 redstone for the amount of copper and silver I put in. Like, that's fine. I'm not too worried about having, like, excess ingot in here. Like, if I got too much copper or too much silver, we can always go ahead and just pull that out in its normal form. I really just want to try and get some signalum made, right? And I guess we probably want to pull it out. I guess if we get enough, we could pull it out in block form. Like that could work if we get, you know, a block worth. Let's see. Let's keep an eye on this and see how much we get. The redstone does smelt unbearably slowly. I really wish that was significantly faster, but I guess whilst we wait for that, we can head on up and we can start working on crafting up some more of these furnaces, as well as the corresponding upgrades. And actually, I think we already have an iron furnace that I dismantled, as well as the speed upgrade and the ore processing upgrade. So that's like half of the job done for us already. I would like to get a fuel efficiency upgrade, although actually now that I think about it, what we probably want to do, if we're going to try and keep this running continuously, right? We want this to be fully automated. Ideally, we probably want to get an electric fuel upgrade so that we can power this thing with redstone flux, aka FE, instead of solid fuel. I think that's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier, despite the fact that we don't have a whole lot of redstone flux right now. I'm hoping that our solar panels should be able to kind of keep up with that. Yeah, let's take a look. We can not quite make that yet, but I'm fairly certain we've got more blaze powder downstairs, so that should be pretty easy. And then really, chat, the big question is whether or not we want to go all out on this and kind of go straight in with a Zenith Furnace. It might be worth it. Like, I underestimated how fast those ore pieces were going to come in. Of course, right now they're coming in fast because of the fact that we've got a backlog. I think as soon as our backlog runs out, we're going to start to see that we are not producing ore pieces that fast really at all. But it's always better to be safe than sorry, I guess. And so let's, we've got 2 nether stars. Unless there's like a specific reason why we should keep 2 nether stars, I think we should probably go ahead and make another Zenith Furnace, right? Maybe? Just me? Okay, there's the electric furnace upgrade. Good stuff. Let's go ahead and upgrade our iron furnace to a gold furnace, our gold furnace to a diamond furnace. All of our diamonds and our emeralds are in our crate. That is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Good stuff. Try not to fall down the hole, Isaac. That's a bad idea that will end badly for everybody. Try this again. Diamond furnace and emerald furnace. And I'm fairly certain we're not going to have enough ender pearls to make the ender pearl furnace. We do not. That's fine. At least not in our system. We do have it elsewhere. And then the final question is whether or not we want to go ahead and pull the trigger on a Zenith Furnace, like a full high tier furnace. Really, I think we desperately need to work on getting fuel and power sorted out, because having to keep filling this thing up with wood every 15 minutes is really not ideal, all things considered. You should make an unbreakable wand. I don't think we can, unfortunately. Like, at least not like, oh, you know, we totally can. Better builder's wand. I'm an idiot. Oh, yeah, you're saying we should use one of our nether stars to make the unbreakable builder's wand. All right. That is probably a good idea, actually. We could save one for that. We do have 2, and so you only need 1 for the Zenith Furnace, right? Like, it's so much faster. It's 30 times faster than the one we have right now. And it only needs 1 nether star. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to, because we'll probably get another nether star fairly soon, right? from our setup. So I'm optimistic that that we can get more nether stars, and so I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm also going to temporarily put this very like right there and grab some blaze powder. I should also stop wasting redstone flux by walking over that pressure plate in front of the atomic reconstructor there. That would also probably help me quite a bit. Okay. So again, the only downside really to the Zenith Furnace is that it abides by vanilla Minecraft furnace mechanics, and so you can't pull out of any side you want, like you can with, for example, an alloy smelter or a redstone furnace from thermal expansion. But it is also significantly faster and cheaper. I'm not quite sure how much fuel this takes, by the way. Like if we do put in the electric fuel upgrade, this thing could tank through redstone flux at a rate that we're not prepared for, but I'm kind of just hoping it doesn't. So I think what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to put the furnace like right about there, right? The reason why I put it one above ground level is because we need to pull out of the bottom to take it places. And then what we want to do is grab our impulse item ducts. Those are going to go out like this. And again, due to the fact that it's vanilla furnace mechanics, this does need to go into the top of the furnace here. So I'm going to move it one block over just so that we can do something like this. And then we'll have a retrieval node there. The good thing about having the retrieval nodes is that we can just put an item duct there and then connect that up to, for example, another draw controller or wherever we want to put all of our ingots when they're done. And I guess actually we could probably just do this, at which point I could just move it back by one. Like that could work, chat. And I mean, depending on how much fuel, let me go check something here. I wanna do a bit of an experiment here, because if this, my thought process, chat, real quick, is that if this doesn't use a ton of fuel, like if this doesn't burn through like a ludicrous amount of coal, what we could probably do is hook up this wire to this wire and then put a retrieval node on like the back of this for coal, pulling the coal directly out of the medium storage crate and into the Zenith Furnace, thus continually filling it up with coal so long as we have coal in the storage crates, which we should continually get from our sifting setup. That's the theory, at least. So, oh yeah, it's super coal efficient, right? Like it's so much more coal efficient. Might as well just smelt using sticks. That's also a fair point, actually. Like, you make a good point. If it's so fuel efficient, what we could do is move our hopping bonsai pot / storage drawer setup downstairs and then pull the sticks from there and use those as fuel. I like it, chat. I like it. Okay, it's all coming together. I'm going to try and consolidate all of our... Do I still have the tape on me? Oh, I do. I'm going to try and consolidate all of our storage drawers into like one location so that we can use one storage bus, ideally to collect everything and to connect it all to our AE2 system. So let's give this a try. It looks awful, but it's going to get the job done. I guess that's true. It does look awful, but I think it will get the job done, and we can always try and make it look nicer in the future. Ideally here, chat, we're probably going to want more compacting drawers, because if we're going to use one draw controller for all of our resources, we also want to have, more draw controllers around here for, iron and copper and all the ingots that can come back out. And so essentially what's going to happen is we're going to have this retrieval node here, pull whatever it can. We're then going to have, I don't know where I want to put this, like very temporarily. I'm going to put it like right here. Like it looks bad and it's going to be real weird, but just, we're trying to get a proof of concept down to see if this works, and then we'll figure the rest out later. Also, let me go make some retrieval nodes real quick as well. I should probably move the elevator so it's in a bit of a better location. I'll probably end up moving most of this. Like, I don't love the fact that when you come down the elevator, you're looking at the back of the storage drawers there, and so there is definitely some work to be done here, but I just want to get the basic... I want it to work before we start to try and make it look nice, right? As always. All right, so we'll get... Oh, my blaze powder's in my inventory. That's fine. We'll get some more iron vendors. We'll make some more retrieval nodes. Again, we can always upgrade these in the future to Signalum versions if we need to. And then... I don't think we're going to need to upgrade this one, though. Like, I don't think we need that many sticks moving in. So does fuel go in the back, chat? I guess I'll find out, right? Like, if I quickly get some sticks and put them in here, whitelist sticks. Always active? It does. Nice. Cool. Okay. I was a little worried there. But that works. And once it's full, it looks like it did send the sticks back, and it's not sending more just yet because it's full on the sticks, which is good. Then we want to have another retrieval node on top. That retrieval node is going to pull essentially everything else. I think this is fine. We'll see. If we run into an issue, we'll find this out. So if we start to ignore, which I think we can do, that's going to just start pulling like anything that can go in there. It's starting with some platinum. That's fine. It did try to send another stick there, but that's okay. It's not going to do anything bad. And then really, if we just connect this up. Now, my worry is that, and I'm hoping that the system is smart enough to not do this, but my worry is that it's going to start pulling like iron ore chunks out and putting them back in at the back. Like if it loops that, that's going to be bad and not something I want it to do. And hopefully that's not what it does. Temporarily, I'm going to do this. And hoping. Oh no, okay, so all right. The good news is it didn't pull anything out. Like none of the compacting drawers, it's not pulling anything out and trying to put it back in here. This is not going to stay here, chat, by the way. What we need to do is we need to put down a drawer for platinum. If we put down a drawer for platinum and we connect that back up again, it should work out just fine. So we're actually going to run it under like this, just because I think it looks so much nicer. Like that. And so now, if we go and get another compacting drawer, again, we don't need compacting drawers for our ingots, like we could pump the platinum into a normal drawer, but having it in a compacting drawer means that we can pull it out in nugget form and in block form so much easier, and it just makes crafting a whole heck of a lot easier going forward as well. And so we'll go with another compacting drawer for the time being, if we get yet more pistons, which we can't make too many of because we are a little low on redstone, but we'll make at least one more compacting drawer for the time being and put that down right about here. And so we should see the platinum coming out of the bottom of the furnace into the back of the controller and therefore into this drawer. Now, it might not do that because there's nothing in here yet, but I'm almost certain that if we put the platinum in manually, that it'll see that platinum is acceptable and the retrieval node should pull it. Like, surely that should... Oh, no. Oh, no. What is going on here? No. Why are you pulling? It's pulling. Oh, no, it's trapped in a loop. It's pulling things out and it's looping them over. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to get a Crescent Hammer real quick, because I think if I disconnect that, things might work. There is a Retrieval Node, chat, that's there and that should be attempting to pull that stuff in. Can I use an extra utilities wrench to disconnect these? Gotta find out. Like if I do... No, I need a Crescent Hammer specifically if I want to break that. That's fine. Okay. So, Crescent Hammer. Real easy, just 3 iron and 1 tin. Good stuff. Okay, let's see here. It didn't do it before, so I'm really hoping that if I disconnect that the loop will stop. Oh, why? why you do this? Why you like this game? Please. Oh, okay. This is not what I want to happen, but it's fine, I think. I'm a little confused as to why it only just started happening. Let me. Obviously, if it happens, it's a problem, no matter what. Yeah, I should keep doing it. Okay, that's okay. That's fine. So, we lost 2, probably 3 item ducts in the process there, but essentially, I was just trying to be efficient with this. Essentially, all it means is that we're going to have to, separate the systems and just have a retrieval node here. I assume that the system can simultaneously pull, like for example, if I put a retrieval node here, I'm assuming that these retrieval nodes still work, even if there's a retrieval node on this. I think that's the case. Again, we can test it and see if that works, but I think it will. We are, however, 1 retrieval node shy. Thankfully, we should be able to make another one. We can. Good stuff. All right, let us give this another try. Just put a regular servo on the bottom of the furnace. I guess that could work, unless there are certain ingots that can be smelted twice. I think though that this might work. Yes, that's pulling the... Yeah. I think all we really need is just a faster thing. So yeah, you can see... Right. Excuse me? Did I just destroy some zinc? What the... What? Did you guys see that? Like the zinc smelted and then went back around and then like was destroyed? Hold on. Does smelting zinc destroy zinc? And now the system's just not working, like... Oh, what in the world just happened? Also, we should put in our upgrades here, just because why not? Okie dokie. All right. Okay, that didn't work, chat. That didn't work. You know, and that's fine. You know, things cannot work. I think the easiest way for us to fix this is with whitelisting. And the easiest way for us to whitelist is by upgrading, right? So if we simply whitelist what the retrieval node is requesting so that it only requests chunks, then we can have that work just fine. And then we can also request what other retrieval nodes want, like we did with this here. You know, we've requested that it only pulls in the sticks. If we put a filter onto the top one there, it will only pull certain items. Unfortunately, the basic reinforced server that we have right now can only whitelist 9 items. Thankfully, I'm fairly certain that the Signalum version can whitelist 12, and that is the number of chunks that we have. So let me go and... I guess for now we can just use the casting table. I was going to say go and grab my casting basin, although thinking about it, we've only got... Oh, we have over a block of Signalum, so that we could pull out the casting basin, but for now we'll just throw down... We only need 2 to upgrade, so we'll just go ahead and grab 2 ingots worth of Signalum real quick. I do also need a fluid duct and a standard servo, like that. And it does take a little bit of time to cool off, but that's 1 ingot. And 2 ingots. Nice. All right. Let's go upgrade our servo, shall we? This will work, chat. Trust me. Eventually it will work. So I would like to upgrade you to the next tier. We could go straight in with Enderium, actually. And that might not have been a bad idea, honestly. But let's give this a try now that we've got the Signalum before we start looking at Enderium or anything else. So if I put this in here, and if I grab at least 1 of every chunk, which you might be able to do for zinc, because we did just destroy most of our zinc deposits. But what we should be able to do, you can see now we've got 12 slots, whitelist, and then if we go ahead and whitelist every single one of these, apart from, I guess, zinc was the one I couldn't whitelist there? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What am I missing? Have we got platinum in there? We don't. Again, I'm guessing we're out of platinum. We are, okay. But this should work better. Always active. So already you can see it's faster, which is great. It sent some that it couldn't use. That's fine. You know, it's just because it realized it had too many. Those are going to smelt up. That's great. And then now we need to extract them and send them back over to here. And I don't think we need to do any whitelisting here. Like, I think that will just work so long as, he says, you know, obviously that's not going to work just yet, so long as we have enough compacting drawers to hold all of the resources. So, looping back around, let me turn... I'm going to turn dust sifting back on temporarily, just because we're low on redstone. So we'll turn that on. That's going to start to get us some more redstone. We simply need the redstone for the pistons, is really the whole thing there. And also we could do with some more platinum so we can get the whitelisting upgraded. But, not quite sure why that's set on fire. We're getting somewhere, chat. We're getting somewhere. We're going to make it a lot faster and a lot better than we have it right now. So... compacting drawers. We've already got 1 for platinum. We need 11 more compacting drawers, which means we need 22 more pistons. What are we missing piston-wise? I assume it's wood? Yeah. We need some more oak planks. Thankfully, oak planks, extremely easy to make. Power, on the other hand, something we're a little light on, but we need more pistons. So we've got... How many pistons can we make? 22. That is actually all we need to make 11 of these. Beautiful. Let's see here. I'm probably gonna move this again, just because I want this to, you know, not look completely horrible. So this is going to end up going around the edge. We do have to bear in mind that the maximum range that the draw controller works, I believe, is 12 blocks out, which is quite far. You know, you can go quite far out here. We're only going 2 blocks out at the minute, so we should be fine. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then... I guess for now we'll just go 9, 10. This is a problem. 9, 10. Why is this? Oh, no. No. Stop. Please. Stop. And then 11 and that. Oh, gosh. We've royally fudged this one, chat. Let me... Why is this so full? Stop. I think this one also needs to be okay. Also stop. This is fine, chat. This is fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, I think that we are good. Diamonds I do not want in here, at least not just yet. Again, I'm going to put... Oh, where the heck did my storage drawer go? Like, did I just lose that? Like the other storage drawer that I had? Oh, no, it's... Yeah, what the heck? Did I just lose that? Oh, no, it'll be in here, right? Everything gets picked up by the... Yes, of course. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. So again, we're going to put this like that. We're going to put down our bonsai pot like that. We're going to go ahead and get the dirt back like that. Boom. And boom. Hopping bonsai pot back online. Beautiful. Now, we need to set up specific drawers for specific ingots. Like so. Perfect. I am going to go ahead and turn this back on. Like so. We probably also want to upgrade this to a Signalum furnace, Signalum servo, so that it can, you know, pull back faster. So ignored and ignored. Okay. So, my question is, why are you not working? You can't extract an input from the same pipe. So is this the problem right now? It's this? Oh. I see. I see. So you can't do both of these things here. Like we can pull in or we can export, but we can't do both. Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine because that's fixable. You know, that's a fixable problem. All we have to do is something like this, and then that's perfect, right? That's gonna work. Perfect might not be the. Oh, why? What are you doing, game? Why are you like this? Why? Why do you do this to me? I guess in that case, can I re-enable that? I'll just break this. In that case, I'm also going to have to whitelist the incoming. This is becoming a lot more difficult than I thought it would be, chat. And some of you might be thinking, well, yeah, Isaac, we told you this like 20 minutes ago. Yeah, dingus, why you only did... It's fine, chat. Okay, this is salvageable. Okay, this is salvageable. We don't need to put. This just adds insult to injury. The fact that when we come up to our top level, we don't have any gosh dang power because our bloody coal generator is garbage. Oh, okay. Just a servo at the bottom. At the bottom of what? Oh yeah, that makes... Okay, I see what you're saying. That probably makes a lot of sense, actually. It's okay, Isaac. Chat believes in you. Thank you. I don't know if they do, but thank you anyway. Okay, we're just losing valuable resources there. That's fine. I think that this is correct. We get a standard server and we connect this up. We want to put this here. And then we're going to put this here. We're going to set this to ignored. And I think that our contraption works. I think, chat, that after all of that our monstrosity works. He's done it. Look at that. It's a bit of a mess. And probably causes more lag than is necessary for a setup of this caliber, but it works. It totally works. Like the job is getting done. And that's all that matters at the end of the day. At the end of the day, that is all that matters. All right, that's perfect. So now we come back over here. We reconnect our back pipe like so. That's going to start moving all of those. No. We don't reconnect the back pipe just yet because we still have empty drawers. If you connect the back pipe with empty drawers, you're going to get stuff like this. We don't want that. We need to wait until at least one of each of our ingots has smelted, at which point we can reconnect up the back pipe. Okay? I think this is working fine, chat. I think this is actually doing a bang-up job. And like even the servo seems to be doing a pretty good job at pulling this out. Maybe faster than... probably not. We could probably do with putting in an Enderium server here. We could probably do with upgrading that to Enderium. Can you upgrade? You can. Just like one piece of Enderium would upgrade that to an Enderium server. Would it? Yes. But then also one piece of Enderium would upgrade a basic server. Okay. That's bizarre. So the easiest way to make an Enderium server is to just craft a basic server with one Enderium. That's half the price of Enderium. Oh my goodness, I've been wasting Signalum all this time. Just need a double output upgrade, and this is the best. Yeah, we've got a double ore processing upgrade, so the ores are being doubled. Also, this is still a problem, obviously, the Yellorium, but that's nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. It's just a staple of the pack, but this seems to be working quite nicely. I'm happy with this, chat. So we're going to lock Yellorium in there. We're going to lock nickel in. We've already got platinum. We've got aluminium coming in next, which is going to go in over there. That's fine. And then what is our last? I guess our last resource is probably zinc, if I were to guess. Let me go see if we've got any zinc lying around in our medium storage crate here. Where in the world? I don't even know what zinc looks like, chat. Also, do we get zinc from sifting dust, or is it only from sand? It is only from sand. Okay, so let's turn the sand sifting back on as well. Like that. So the next step is we are going to need yet more drawers. Chat, like if you think we've already got too many drawers, we need yet more, because ideally, if we're going to connect all of this up to the AE2 system with the storage bus, we want to have all of our other resources in drawers as well. So like redstone, gold, redstone, diamonds, emeralds, blaze powder, all of those items as well. Ideally want to be in drawers, right? That's the plan. So we'll see how that goes, I guess, in a second. We do have enough zinc now to go ahead and make some zinc ingots. This is tin. Does tin already have a drawer? It doesn't. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, we're missing a drawer, of course. Boom. Again, the way it looks is going to change. Don't worry about it. For now, let's drop that in. The zinc should end up in there. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to quickly... I'm not going to unlock because that could cause issues. I'm just going to lock that. I'm going to lock that. And I think that is everything locked. All of our drawers are locked. Everything is good. And so finally, we can go ahead and re-enable this pipe. Now, only ore pieces should move. They do. Beautiful. And then, again, ideally, we do want to go ahead and upgrade this server, which, according to my recent research, we can just do like this. Nice. Okay. That's actually a lot cheaper as well. And then we could do this. And that should be faster. Beautiful. Look at that, chat. Look at that. It's coming in nice and fast. It's also pulling them, I think, a stack at a time on behalf... No, I think it's pulling a stack at a time out of here, which is really nice. Those are coming in nice and fast. So finally, we should have a system that is capable of keeping up with this at a reasonable speed. It's able to keep up with at least pulling all of the ore pieces at a reasonable speed. Whether or not we can smelt them as fast as they're coming in, I'm not quite sure. Also, apparently we're missing an output for nickel. Lead, osmium, gold, silver, iron, copper. Copper, yeah. Platinum, yellorium, tin, nickel, silver. Oh, it's just being slow. Okay, that's fine. So let's see here. I want redstone. I would like diamonds, I would like emeralds, and I would like glowstone. Those are the 4 items that we are going to compact, as well as all of our ingots, of course. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit weird, but we'll do this. 1, 2, and then 3, and 4. Beautiful. And so we'll do diamonds, we'll do emeralds, we'll do glowstone, and we'll do redstone. Fantastic. And we'll lock those as well, like so. Following that, how many other items do we have to store? I think the answer is quite a few. So let's see here. I don't think string is found naturally in the sifting. I think that's something I've dropped. So we've got Cetus quartz crystals and charged Cetus quartz crystals. That's 2. Skystone is 3. Crushed quartz is 4. Flint is 5. Lapis is 6. Electron is 7. Bone meal is 8. Again, paper I don't think is going to be on there. 8. Sulfur might be, although I don't think it is. No, it's not. So 8. 9 with the rock candy. Am I missing anything? 10 with the coal. 11, 12, and I think 13 with sapphires, emeralds, and I assume there's rubies somewhere. And then 14 with the prosperity shards. And then 15 with the blaze powder. And then 16 with the cocoa. I'm going to make 16 storage drawers and see if that's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is this far enough out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is. Remember, we can go 12 blocks out in total here. That's the maximum. So there's 6 over there. These ones are going to be a little iffy thanks to our smeltery, which is going to be moved. So I'm not too worried. But I do need to be able to... Oh, no, this is... I need to be able to lock the drawers as they fill in there. So maybe not ideal placement. But 5 there. We'll do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If it's 19, that's going to be awkward because then we're going to have like one extra that we don't want to have, right? Ugh. Okay, I'm going to... We could also... No, I'll stick with this. I was going to say we could condense them into like 2x2 drawers, but I don't think that would be worth it. Like we'd have to put a lot of upgrades in, you know, a lot of storage upgrades to get us to the point where we can actually hold all of that stuff. And so I think it is the right decision, albeit the more difficult decision, to use these full-size storage drawers. So rock candy can go in, and then we also want blaze powder to go in one. Let's grab another piece of glass. But I think we're getting so much out. This is almost ready to go. I might still go ahead and maybe increase one of these, although it looks like it's fine. I think our next big speed upgrade that we're going to want to make is to our igneous extruders. And really, the only thing holding us back from upgrading our igneous extruders is power, right? Power is something that we don't have enough of right now to easily upgrade the speed of which our machines work, right? If we can put the upgrades in, but we're not going to have the power to keep up with them is the problem. So power is another issue that we need to take care of, and then really just kind of hooking all of this up to the AE2 system is going to be another issue that we need to tackle. But for the most part, almost everything here is getting pulled out, which is very nice indeed, right? Like almost everything in here is being sorted in some way. All of the ore pieces that are still in here are in here because we're not actively producing them. So that is also nice indeed. I'm going to put, where do I want to put this? I'm going to put this like here, right? As awkward as it looks, I'm going to disconnect it as well. Oh no, I need that connected, right? Oh no, I can't put this here. Yeah, no, that's, forget that you saw that, chat. All right, forget that you didn't see that. All right. This needs to go around the other side because of the fact that we're using it for fuel. So this needs to go somewhere on this side of the setup, which I hate because it's going to look bad no matter where I put it down. So for now, I'm going to hide it here. I know I just walked right around to get to here, but that's fine. I'm going to put it here. We're going to put our bonsai pot, which I think is probably in here, right? It is. Bonsai pot. Can go there. Dirt. Boom, and sapling. Okay, that should hopefully keep us in sticks. I don't know if that's producing sticks fast enough to keep up with the demand for sticks. I assume it is, but, you know, we'll see. Okay, now another reason why I kind of wanted to work with the clear glass is that I kind of like the idea of hiding some of these cables, or at least running some of these cables under the ground. For example, if we go ahead and grab this and we head back up to the surface real quick. Also, whilst we're at the surface, we should see about getting a storage bus. But for example, right now, that cable's kind of just running along the floor, right? And once we get a jetpack or some form of flight, we could just hide the cable underneath. I do quite like being able to see the cables. And so I also like the idea of getting ourselves some of this structural duct here. Very easy to make, 1 lead ingot and 2 iron nuggets. And then you can craft this structural duct with pretty much any block in the game to create these covers. This one's making a clear glass cover. If you were to use like a block of iron, it would make an iron cover, etc., etc. And so I'm kind of thinking about potentially getting rid of some of these blocks here, and then just to make it a bit easier to kind of walk around on this level, running these in the floor, but whilst also being able to still see them by putting down glass like that. I kind of like that. I'm a little peeved that there's a black line there, like between the panels. Like it has a connected texture almost, but like there's also, if I stand like right there, you can't see the little line there, but I quite like this, right? And it also makes it a lot easier for us to work with this. And I guess if we wanted to make this symmetrical, because I kind of don't want it to have to go under the elevator here, we could just have it go around both sides. I think that could look pretty cool, actually. You know, and kind of somewhat start to salvage this a little bit. I think we still need to have work because, again, I still don't like the fact that when you come down the elevator, you see this wall, the back wall of the compacting drawers. But I do quite like the idea of kind of running this like this and just having covers on all these, you know, and then connecting this up on this side as well. Doesn't need both sides like that. That's unnecessary, but I think it looks super neat, right? And this connection, I think, is fine. Yeah, we connected this on purpose. I really wish it would pull from both sides there. That's fine. But yeah, I think this looks pretty cool. I like it. It's at least a little easier to use, right, than the previous setup. But also, we can put them here as well. We can have them, I would like it to go preferably like on the lower level. So like right there, like that, you know, so not really necessary. And I might change this because the glass does bug out a little bit with those lines there. We might have to try a different glass. But for now, at least, like the idea is there, right? Yeah. I really don't like those lines, man. Oh boy. But we can work on that. The idea is there. I like being able to see the items flowing around the base. I think that's super cool. And so I dig that. All right. Final thing, chat, for this setup. We need to get ourselves some form of storage bus. The storage bus right here, made with a sticky piston, a regular piston, and an ME interface. I feel like the entirety of this stream has been like, or at least 95% of this stream has been making pistons. But finally, chat, I think we're closing in on the final pistons for today. We need only 2. Need to upgrade 1 to a sticky piston, which we can do with our rice balls, which we made previously. And then an ME interface shouldn't be too difficult to make. It's 4 iron, 2 glass, 1 annihilation core, 1 formation core. These are made in sets of 2, and I'm fairly certain we needed both of these for our crafting terminal. We did, so we have spares of both of those. Storage bus, like so. And then all we need now is ME cable. We've only got 2. I think that we should be able to make more, he said. Not so optimistically. Oh, no, we can. Totally nice. And then now the real question is just how do we want to connect this up to our draw controller? Now, unfortunately, right now, our draw controller has many many things attached to all of its sides. I think what we're probably going to want to do is disconnect our retriever like that. Disconnect this. We're going to put this retriever on the bottom, which might prove more difficult than I'm expecting. Although, no, this should be fine, actually. Put that there. Set that to ignored, like so. We can always go ahead and cover that with glass in a second here. And then all we need to do now is go ahead, put the ME storage bus right about there, and just connect this up to the system. Again, doesn't look great. And ideally in the future, we would, you know, reorganize things here to make that look a little bit nicer. But for the time being, all we need to do is just run this down and connect it up, I think, to our ME drive. I don't think connecting up to the energy acceptor is enough. I will try, just because why not? But I don't think it's going to be enough. So let's see. I want this to go across, and then at the very least, we want it to go there. Although, again, I'm fairly certain that won't work because it's not actually connected to our crafting terminal. It's just connected. Like, that is going to give this power. So you can see this has gone blue. This is, and at the top there, you can see it says device online. It is online. It is working. I'm almost certain that's not going to be viewable in here. Oh, no, it totally is. Wow. Oh, I did not think that was going to work, chat. Huh. In that case, then, that's quite nice, actually, because it means we can get rid of that. We can put this back down, and we can just run the pipe underneath the stairs. I did not know that that worked. That is pretty cool. Now, so that's that. You know, that's all hooked up. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that, like, the one downside, I guess, to compacting drawers, for me at least, is that I don't love all of these nuggets being the first thing that I see when I open up the compacting drawer. I like to, when I open up the crafting terminal. I'm a big fan of having my crafting terminal organized by number of items. I don't love that having all of these nuggets here is the first thing we see, but I think it's fine. I think it's a nice, it's you know, a fair compromise for being able to pull both nuggets and blocks out as and when we need them in crafting recipes. I really dig that. And so now we can go ahead and clear our inventory up again just a little bit. Let me quickly claim some of the quests that we completed. We got our smeltery. We'll go ahead and claim that. I think we also completed a few quests, if not at least one, in the thermal expansion quest line for the Magma Crucible and the fluid transposer. We did. We also apparently made another machine. Is that our compactor? Oh, the pulverizer, apparently. We haven't claimed the reward for that yet either. We still need to make a redstone furnace and a factorizer, but that's fine. And then also like a glacial precipitator and some other machines as well. There's also maybe a quest for the storage bus, possibly. There's one for the import and export bus, but it doesn't seem like there is one for the storage bus, which is fine. How much RAK are we at now? Like 241? Not bad, not bad. Not the best by any stretch, but not bad. I do also want to do some work, maybe put some glass down around these sieves, just to kind of get rid of this cobblestone. The only reason this cobblestone's here right now is because without it, the items just kind of fly out in all directions and it looks a bit ridiculous. But yeah, I think, chat, I'm going to go ahead and probably wrap up today's stream about there. Between streams, I'm probably going to do some redesigning a little bit. I'll definitely move this smeltery because I don't like it. I'll definitely do some base expansion work to make room for all of this new stuff that we've got. But The big thing that we're going to want to do next episode is come back, try and get some more power. Like, power is desperately something we need, so we need to make it a priority in the next episode. Speed up the rate at which our igneous extruders produce sand, gravel, and dust, so we can kind of increase the rate at which all of this works, because I'm assuming now if we go and look in our Zenith Furnace that it's not being used, right? Like, stuff is not coming in anywhere near fast enough to warrant having this Zenith Furnace. So we've got a lot of leg room, a lot of space to increase the speed at which this whole setup works. But thankfully now we can access everything from within our AE2 system, which is very nice. And also between episodes, I'll probably keep filling in all of these glass panels here with more clear glass as well, just to make it a lot less likely that I fall to my death in like anytime soon. I guess we don't really need it in the top slots there, because I can just fall down to the bottom slots. But nevertheless, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's stream there for today.